wake
Yeah,
up,
man.
sunshine. Did you get your beauty sleep last night?
Yes, always.
Hello and welcome back to Judge a Book, a podcast by Studio White Noise. Get ready to glow up your day with our radiant episode where we will be discussing skincare and beauty products. Wow.
Wow.
Too early
So,
for this.
yeah. We'll be discussing some big brands and their packaging designs, getting down to the nitty-gritty, the unboxing experience, and just, kind of what influences us to buy products and what we would do differently if we were to redesign them ourselves. So hold on to your face masks, guys, while we dive into the beauty banter.
Wow.
So on that note, how much roughly do you think you both spend on your skincare routines, if you have one?
Well, I'm a Mecca level 3 member, so I think that's like $1,250 a year.
Serious?
And you've got to keep spending that much to maintain that membership as well.
That's one ticket to Japan.
I know. I know.
You know? Wow. Amazing.
Don't shame me.
No. Okay. How much I spend? $0. Because my wife bought it for me. Actually, I just use whatever there. Sometimes, not all the time.
Unless you go in the
Just
bathroom
whatever
and
shows
just use whatever's there.
Yeah, just whatever's
Whatever
there.
it's like dog cream or something.
Maybe I'll use it. I'll eat and use whatever my wife gave me. You know, it's like if my wife gave me poison, maybe I'll eat it.
Oh.
I did want to start off the podcast by mentioning that as a studio, we don't particularly specify in packaging design. But as three gracefully aging cover girls, we thought it would be fun to take a look at how designers and consumers are influenced by buying certain packaging and skincare products. So we can kind of comment from both aspects, I think, and then whether or not these influences overthrow certain design flaws of each individual product. I wanted to start off with segment 1, which I've called Maybe We're Born With It.
Wow.
So I wanted to ask what one of the first skincare or beauty products you remember using or being introduced to at like a young age.
I fully remember this. It was watching, what was her name? Clothes Encounter or something like that. That's her name on YouTube. And she's this Korean beauty influencer, fashion influencer, lifestyle influencer. And she did this full ad about like simple skincare, like that line that you can just find at the supermarket. And that was like my first gateway into skincare.
How old were you?
Like, I want to say like 14.
Yeah.
Because before then I would just use whatever my mum had in the cupboards or whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was like the first kind of like, oh my God, this influencer's using that. She has beautiful skin. Got to invest.
Oh my gosh. So you got onto the influencers
I know.
really young.
I know.
Well, she is still young.
Yes, this is true.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So even before 14, you use skincare.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was probably the first kind of like skincare line that I just remember vividly, like the brand and everything. And like the whole experience of like
Yeah.
buying
Buying
into
yourself.
it. Yeah.
What skincare? I don't even remember. It was something about that foamy
Foam
soapy
cleanser.
thingy. I don't know what is that thing called.
For me, I have a very specific one. I mean, I definitely remember Maybelline. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
yeah.
Like, I just feel like that's iconic. Like, everyone knows that saying. And I still, to this day, use Maybelline mascara. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just because it's easy, it's convenient, and I know that, it's affordable
and so
as well.
accessible as well.
Yeah, so I to this day still use that. But then I also had a really specific one that I printed out, which my mum bought. So this was probably
What
one
is
of my.
that?
I know, it's a long-wearing lipstick, and the ad for it was this woman with spaghetti hair because, she was able to eat the spaghetti without ruining her lipstick. And so I vividly
my
remember
God.
seeing this ad on TV and my mum being like, "Oh, I need to get that. Like, that looks really good."
The
And then buying
spaghetti
it.
or the...
I mean, both,
Or
obviously, both. I mean, it's pappardelle, like
Yeah.
spaghetti as the hair. You've got to get both. So yeah, this was Max Factor Lipfinity. So that was probably like one of my earliest memories.
Are they still selling this product?
I don't think so. I think they've got new versions of it.
I feel like they don't make ads like this anymore.
No, I don't think it's legal anymore here in
not legal.
Australia. Because it's not real. You know, everything needs to be real here.
Okay, cute. Well, what about now then? Like, what influences you to buy certain skincare or beauty products?
I feel like I went through a whole journey where I did go through like the aesthetics of skincare. Like I feel like when you're like that teenager phase,
Teenager.
skincare was an aesthetic.
What is tween? I keep hearing that.
Tween is like preteens.
Yeah.
Where's the W came from?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually
ask
don't know.
Complicated questions.
Okay, sorry. Ignore me.
Yeah, like young but whittle. I don't
Whittle
know.
maybe?
Whittle?
Yeah.
Teenager.
Anyway. But yeah, I feel like, I think there was like a phase where like I remember my friend group being like, we're kind of just like comparing skincare routines based on like how nice it looked on the shelf and like obviously just like product based, like Korean skincare was like such a huge phase as well. But nowadays I feel like I definitely look at reviews and like see people use them on TikTok and see the results. So I'm definitely more like results based in terms of purchasing skincare now. But yeah, I went through that whole journey of like aesthetics first before the actual results. And then, it's kind of a bit of a fascinating one.
So when you say aesthetic, do you mean the design of
Yes,
the label and the brand?
Exactly,
Or like what about
exactly.
the actual packaging, like the bottle that it comes in?
The whole
or-
experience really, like definitely like on face value, like how it looked on the shelf. Like when you go into Mecca or whatnot, I would definitely be like, okay, which one's the prettiest? For sure. And even like with Korean skincare, I remember like I knew that the effects of Korean skincare was like better for my skin, but the packaging wasn't as nice as like Aesop or like any of those types of brands because I just like liked pretty things.
Yeah,
With my like
interesting.
14-year-old tiny brain.
Of course, naturally.
How the times have changed.
Time has changed.
What about you, Andreas? Were you guided by in pretty things?
Guided with, pretty things, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you do love
but I do
flowery
kind
cocktails.
of buy them not for myself in a way. I do buy them for kind of
Like as gifts. And
as a gift. Like Indonesian love is Aesop. How do you spell it?
Aesop.
Aesop.
But I think, I
Aesop.
get confused with how it's meant to be pronounced. Aesop or
whatever.
Aesop. but-
Anyway, Indonesian love Aesop because it felt like it's different from like the current market at that time. It was very different and how kind of like they put the packaging like that and everything kind of like very typography based in a way. I just judge it by how it looks and how is it nice to give them
Yeah.
because I feel like there's that kind of like industry where skincare is for yourself and there's another industry where skincare is to give someone else.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good point. Like, that's an avenue where you could potentially choose the skincare based on its design purely if you're giving it as a gift because you want it to look nice for the person receiving it. Whereas
Yeah.
maybe if you're using it for yourself, you put a bit more thought into it, thinking like, oh, hang on, is this going to be good for my particular skin type? Like, even though the design is nice,
Absolutely.
or like, how am I going to use
Especially
this?
for guy.
That checks out, I think, with your personality.
It's like, not for me.
Yep.
How many products do you use?
Do we have time to go through my skincare routine?
No, just a number, just the number.
I would say like 5 or 6 products
Yeah.
Each day.
twice
And
a
it's,
day.
and it's the same for 7 days or is there
Yeah.
any? Okay.
I've
You?
got
Except on
like-
Sundays I do a face mask.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. Sunday's definitely the
Yeah.
face mask day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
I reckon I've got, like 6-ish. And that's like I've got a morning routine and then a nighttime
Yeah,
routine. So
same.
the products change for the
Okay.
morning and the night.
Wow.
It's a whole world, Andreas. You should really open yourself up. Maybe you need to go into Mecca and find yourself a Mecca
I know,
girly to bond
yeah.
with.
Nah.
Enjoy your juices, guys.
Yeah,
I got
that's
you
ASMR.
got you
I'm
each a
opening.
little juice for our, beauty kind of routine. Well, now we're going to move into some judging of products. So this is segment 2, judging beauty products at face value.
Wow.
So, judging the packaging look, its usability, and the brand as a whole, and what we would change about the packaging if we were to tackle this ourselves. I wanted to just like touch on the brand as a whole, just because I think with packaging design, yes, we're going to be judging on the package itself, but as we've already kind of discussed, I think a lot of our influences go beyond just the packaging look, and also just in branding as a whole. You know, often people think that the logo is the whole brand, but we know as designers very well that the logo is just one element of the brand. So we're here to kind of design the whole experience down to the colors, the fonts, the messaging, the campaigns, whatever it may be. So I think that's why I thought it'd be interesting to, yes, judge the packages by their look, but then also what other influences come into play as well. So we have the go-to Fancy Face Nourishing Oil Cleanser. What a mouthful.
Wow.
So this is 100 mils. It is an oil cleanser. It's come in a box that's peach kind of coloured. I'm gonna get you guys to open the box itself, but it's in kind of like a long tube, I would say. Tube, maybe. And it is $45.
I think another thing about this packaging is like it's peachy color and the type is white.
Yes,
And
sorry, the
peach
type
colour.
is white. So it's a peach box with white typography. And then when you open it, the product itself is also the peach color with a white lid. So they keep it very consistent and minimal, just using those two colors
that
or one
thing. No, I
color
wanna see the
really, and
box.
white.
Oh, it comes with a little cloth
Cloth.
with a little peach ribbon. Oh my God, that's so cute. Stop.
So they've just opened the box,
Hold on.
and
What's,
yes,
what's
there's a
the
little
name
cloth
of the brand
inside.
again? Go to.
Go-to. So it's Go-To Skincare. And so this brand is run by Zoe Foster Blake, who used to be a beauty editor at Cosmopolitan and Harper's Bazaar. And so she started this skincare brand, and this is kind of like, I guess, the standard sort of main brand. They've also got Bro2, which is a men's skincare range.
I didn't know that.
And then, now I've just blanked on the kids range, but there is like a kids range as well.
Child
within this
2.
brand.
Child.
Yeah.
Kids
Have
too.
to start it from
Tween 2.
Twin 2. Teen 2.
from earlier age.
Yeah. So, Andreas, you're very intently looking at this box. What are your thoughts?
Don't like it.
You don't like it.
I just feel like there's so many things like identity crisis in a way. You know?
Shots fired.
Wow.
Like the front is like I'm trying to be minimal, I guess. And then things are like weirdly aligned. Do you want to be left aligned? Do you want to be right aligned? Do you want to be center aligned? Who knows? And then center aligned there, and then different fonts. But not as a designer, but more kind of like the normal human being, old person. I'm old, by the way. I can't see the thing because it's like white on peach.
Oh, okay.
I think the contrast, like when you holding it there, it's like I can't read anything.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing for me nowadays. Like if I can't read it, then
I do think the text is a lot harder to read on the
especially
bottle.
there, especially in the bottle. It's like,
On print with that, I don't know, like I feel like that's, well, I've got young eyes.
oh yeah, you have young eyes.
But I feel like on the box or like on the print, like I
Yeah.
feel like it's fine. But like on the shiny bottle, because it has
yeah.
like a little bit of a glossy,
Mm.
like that. Yeah, like at
Yeah.
the back when like with the smaller text of like the directions of
Nah.
use, like
The thing about me is that I don't try to read things as quick as possible, and I miss some stuff like this. Like Aesop is easier to read. The contrast there is like it's there.
That's true.
Even
Contrast of the
even-
typography.
even the most basic kind of like packaging Nivea and stuff like that, there is contrast that you can
I
read.
think the thing about Go-To is like you go to a Mecca store, it is so distinct like where the Go-To shelf is because everything is that same
That's
color
true.
palette and
Okay.
everything is the same.
So the shelf presence in the store
Yeah, it's
is
very
quite
strong.
distinct. But then I guess like what if you're at home as well and then you've got like 5 Go-To products and you're in a rush? Like do you then get
True.
confused because you're like, oh, they're all the same.
Because
Like,
I will
which one
say,
is the
like,
one
I've
that I
never
need?
used the oil cleanser before, but like this bottle, very similar to because I use the Nifty 50 Go-To sunscreen.
Yeah.
And it's literally like the same sort of bottle, but like smaller.
Yeah. And I don't know, I personally as well, as another like design decision, like I like having different products in my like skincare collection at home. Like if I open them up and like look at them all, I like having different kind of designs and
same.
colors.
Yeah,
Like I get
yeah.
bored if I just have the same.
The same
So,
product, yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of like another thing to consider with this brand, I guess. Like that choice of just having a single color is kind of risky. But then, yeah, like you mentioned before, it does pay off in a Mecca store by standing out and being like very obvious. Like this is the go-to section. Huh. Play on words there.
Well, on that, actually, I feel like go-to as a brand, like I feel like in the various times I've been in Mecca and like asked for recommendations, they always say go-to because the price compared to like the other stuff in Mecca is a lot more accessible in terms of like, product prices and all of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the marketing thing. Like they want to be just like a very simple skincare brand, like kind of like products you would get at like off the shelf at like a supermarket, but a bit more in that elevated space.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of like the vibe that they're going for.
And their other angle is to make skincare fun. I think they're very clever with their messaging in making it kind of like easy to understand because I think the skincare world can get quite overwhelming. So I've brought in the Transformersing. I probably am saying this wrong, but it's their face mask. And on the front of it, they've just got, this mask is going to make my skin a solid 15 out of 10. So they kind of have that like sense of humor and like lightheartedness in all their messaging.
Is even, does that mean like older than you need to be? Like if you're 10 years old, you look like 15?
Yeah.
No, it's a
You've
scale.
understood that completely correct, I think. Yeah.
It's a scale, you fool.
Clearly not the target market.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think they do that quite well. What would influence you to buy or not buy this product?
The power of its like accessibility in terms of price as well as like it's actually like a good product. Like it definitely wins through like word of mouth.
Yeah. Would you buy this for a Rini or a gift,
If
Andreas?
she asked me to buy it, then I'll buy it for her. I wouldn't know what's the best. But if someone recommend to give this to someone or I really need to use it because of blah, then I might buy it. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I would buy it.
The design, yeah, neither here nor there for me. Like it's not offensive, but I actually think like if I'm like not thinking about knowing the brand, it looks kind of like a baby brand to me a little bit. Like it's a bit soft in that approach. So I probably like without any context, I would probably think that. And to sum up the fabulous oil cleanser, if you had to redesign this, what would you change? For me, I think I would redesign the typography. As we've already discussed, it is quite hard to read. So I would kind of do bolder fonts, potentially consider a bigger contrast between the colour of the packaging. And minimize some of the typography. Like I think what they do well is have those like fun, punchy message lines. So I'd kind of just like focus on maybe one of those, and make the product name like really bold and clear.
I'm so biased to like, I'm so used to like go to like as someone that uses it. So I'm just like, oh, like it's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
I do think like, the type hierarchy, like it is a bit like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like one quote's not the same size as the other. Like, I think that as a designer would throw me. And I agree with the comments about contrast between the white and the peach color for sure.
So type hierarchy, as Dawn just mentioned, is basically the distinction between all the different messages of the typography on the package. So you want to make sure that, your headline is the biggest, size of typography. And then, the description or the ingredients rather are very small in comparison because they're the kind of disclaimer information that has to be on there, but, not as bold and easily sort of seen from a distance. So hierarchy just refers to that sense of which one is seen first and more boldly and prominently, and then what's the kind of the other information that just needs to be on there.
Is it my turn?
It is Andreas's turn. I can't wait to hear you rip this to shreds.
All right. I'm like to preface
I'm
this.
just a man.
To preface this, I'm just a man. I'm not the target market.
Simple boy.
Probably kind of like, I think you mentioned it before, you have a young eyes. And it's like, probably the target market is the young people. And it's not for someone that as old as me and have a bad eyesight like me. So it might be okay having the peach and white, maybe, who knows. But First thing is, I just felt like the logo is just a bit weird. Like suddenly you have this kind of like, looks like a hand-drawn kind of, not hand-drawn, like a handwritten type for a logo, but then you suddenly go fancy with your type with, I don't know, serify kind of thing, italic, non-italic, have italic within a quote on one side, no italic on the other side. And then one side is like vertical, the other side is horizontal. I think there is that kind of like misalignment of like, do you want to go crazy or do you want to go simple? I think this packaging kind of like trying to do both in one go instead of like, oh, I'm going to be crazy. Let's just go crazy with it. Let's go like every side is different in a way. I think if you go as crazy as that, you get it. But here in this packaging, it's like you go halfway. You want to go crazy, but not as crazy. You want to go clean, but not as clean. And that kind of statement, not statement, but more kind of like positioning of that is a bit weird for me.
Yeah.
I think either go one way or the other rather than I'm trying to be all these things, but not really one thing.
Yeah.
I would change the logo. I would change based on the logo, I would kind of choose the different one that would go with the logo itself, because I felt like there's two things happening, which is the logo trying to be as kind of like tactile or handcrafty or whatever. I've never gone to the website, so I can't really judge anything based on like the whole experience. I only judge this based on this packaging. And then the type on the back is a bit too meh. It's like an afterthought.
You do that.
Thoughts from
sound
our
again.
creative director, everyone. There.
Yeah, it's like making noises is easier than to kind of like say sometimes noise sum up the whole expression, you know? Like I think because packaging is judged by its 6 sides, then you should do it the justice. You should design the whole 6 sides or even the inside of the box itself.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. Like, I definitely enjoy as a consumer and a designer if there's a design on the inside of a box. I kind of love that experience of like opening it up and you get something that you don't expect. Granted, they did do that with the cloth that they included in this particular package. But I think, yeah, exactly as Andreas said, there is too much going on the outside of the box. They could have utilized that space and had a lot of the text kind of present on the inside for this like bit of surprise and delight, which, you know, is always a great thing in design. Okay, now for a little fun finisher just to wrap up the beauty banter. I'm calling this segment the tutorial. So I have a bit of a quest for you guys. I'd like you, Dawn, to be the host of a YouTube channel, an exclusive White Noise YouTube channel, where we introduce the go-to fancy face cleanser. But Andreas, you will be the one selling this product. So I'm talking like typical makeup skincare tutorials that you see celebrities do. You know, they open the product, maybe do a little bit of nail clacking with the ASMR, open the box, you know, gasps, your reactions, and then use the product. So show us how you use it and try and sell it. I want you to sell this product to all of our millions of fans because we are so famous. So yeah, you've got 2 minutes. Hit me with your best shot, guys.
Wow.
So you start, yeah? You start.
Let's start.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to White Noise Beauty Channel, where we're going to be selling. Wait, I can't even say that. Where we're trying out the new go-to fancy face oil cleanser.
Fancy pants.
Go.
Hi guys, today we're gonna introduce this product. It's called Go To Fancy Face, with the color, this peachy color. Something that I want to be perceived at. Oh yeah.
You gotta do the. No, you gotta.
Oh yeah. Hold on. How do you?
The hand behind the product.
How
Oh
do you
yeah,
think?
this
Yeah.
like this thing.
Yeah. And then put it up to the camera. Yeah. Yeah.
Very fancy, as you know.
I've got a minute left. Quickly, go.
Okay. I like to start my day fancy, and I like to end it fancy. All of the fancy, fun, facial face care. Look at that. Look at this. My tattoo artist. I got a tattoo last week. My tattoo artist told me that I'm 20 years old. I think she's blind. Look at that moisture. Is this supposed to be moisturize your skin?
No, it cleanses.
It's cleansing.
I feel clean now. Feel clean, feel cleansed
And fancy.
and fancy. Radically clean, that's what it says. Nourish skin. Would you buy it? I would.
Yeah, buy the go-to face oil. Yeah, get it.
It's your go-to
Nailed
Your
skincare.
it.
go-to skincare. Woo!
Nailed it, guys.
You should say subscribe.
Oh, fuck.
What do you say?
I will do
Subscribe
that.
to our channel.
Like and subscribe.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I'm sold. I would definitely buy it
I wouldn't
with that
buy
kind
it
of
if you-
tutorial.
I think you lost a lot of followers just from that. I
Yeah.
like to start my day
Yeah.
fancy.
I think that was great. While you're subscribing to our fake YouTube channel, please make sure you're also subscribing to our actual channel at Studio White Noise and have a look at our website as well. Let us know as well in the comments whether or not you use these products, whether you're influenced to buy them now after our stunning tutorial. The
Or
end
if
of
you
the
want me to
podcast.
promote your product.
Oh, yes. Do you want us to promote your product? We are available to create YouTube tutorials for any and all products and would love to work on your skincare or beauty brand if you have one for us.
Right now.